Most people spend their entire lives trying to earn respect from the wrong people, in the wrong way, using the wrong strategy. And the painful irony, the more desperately you try, the faster that respect slips away. Think about that for a second. You have seen it. Maybe you have lived it. You try harder. You explain more. You show up more. You give more. You bend more. And the person on the other side, the enemy, the rival, the person who clearly does not have your best interest at heart, they do not soften. They get bolder. They push harder. Because what you showed them was not strength. What you showed them was a target. Enemies do not respect the person who tries hardest to earn it. They respect the person who appears to need it least. That is not a motivational quote. That is a psychological principle, one that Niccolò Machiavelli documented 5 centuries ago with the kind of cold, ruthless clarity that made his work controversial then, and still makes it uncomfortable now. Because Machiavelli did not write about how the world should work. He wrote about how it actually does work. He wrote about what people genuinely respond to, not what they say they respond to, but what moves them at a behavioral level. People do not respect kindness in the face of conflict, not because kindness is weak, but because in a power dynamic, consistent softness signals that you can be pushed. And people, especially the ones who are working against you, will keep pushing as long as that signal remains. But here is the other side of that equation, and this is equally important. Enemies do not respect aggression either, not real, lasting respect. When you react with anger to every provocation, when you fight back loudly and visibly, what you are actually doing is handing them control. You are proving that they can move you. That with the right words, the right action, the right pressure point, they can shift your emotional state completely. That is not dominance. That is dependency. So what do people actually respect? They respect psychological advantage. They respect the person who seems to be operating on a level they cannot fully access. The person who is calm when the room is chaotic, who is patient when everyone else is impulsive, who appears to be playing a game that nobody else can completely see, let alone beat. Machiavelli called it the quiet control of the situation, the ability to shape outcomes not through noise, but through strategy, not through reaction, but through positioning. And the people who master this, even partially, experience something most people never do. Their enemies begin to recalibrate around them. Not because they demanded it, not because they fought for it, but because something in the way they carry themselves makes aggression feel like a bad investment. Today, we are going through 7 strategic shifts from Machiavellian thinking that will silently reshape how the people around you, including the ones who oppose you, see you, position themselves around you, and ultimately treat you. These are not tricks. They are not mind games. They are frameworks grounded in real human psychology, and every single one of them is something you can begin applying immediately. Stay with me through all 7, because they build on each other, and by the time we reach the end, you will see the complete picture of what genuine psychological power actually looks like, and why most people never access it. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I control the game. Let's get into it. Number 1. Control the frame of interaction. Every interaction runs inside a frame. A frame is the invisible premise underneath the surface of what is being said. It is the unspoken story that determines how everything inside that interaction gets interpreted. Who is in the right? Who owes an explanation? Who carries the burden of proof? The frame is set before the first word is spoken, and whoever sets it controls the entire dynamic that follows. Most people walk into conflicts without realizing this. They respond to what is being said on the surface. They defend themselves, they argue, they try to prove their point, all without noticing that they have already accepted a premise that puts them at a disadvantage. They are playing inside a frame someone else built, and that is why, no matter how well they argue, they always feel like they are losing ground. Imagine someone publicly questions your judgment in front of people whose opinion matters to you. The question sounds reasonable on the surface, but underneath it is a frame, and the frame says, your judgment is in question. The moment you rush to defend yourself, you have accepted that frame. You have agreed, through the very act of defending, that the premise applies. Now you are not just answering a question. You are operating inside a reality they constructed, and they have all the structural advantage. This is one of the most consistent patterns in how people lose power in social and interpersonal conflicts. It is rarely about who argues better. It is almost always about who is operating inside whose reality. Machiavelli understood this with total clarity. He wrote that a strategically aware leader never allows another person to define the terms of engagement. Because the terms of engagement are not neutral, they favor whoever set them. The moment you react inside someone else's narrative, you have already given up something significant before you have said a single word in response. Stop reacting inside their frame. Start building and maintaining your own. This does not mean ignoring what is being said. It means responding from a completely different premise, one that you control. Instead of defending the thing they questioned, you speak from a position that assumes the questioning does not carry the weight they intended. You redirect, you reframe, you speak from a reality where their narrative does not have the authority they believe it does. The most powerful communicators in history have always done this instinctively. When someone tried to put them inside a frame they did not choose, they did not argue within it. They rejected the premise and replaced it with a stronger one. They made the original frame look small by simply refusing to operate inside it. In your own life, this looks like refusing to over-explain your decisions to people who are not genuinely asking for understanding. It looks like not shrinking when someone implies you need to justify yourself. It looks like redirecting a baited conversation toward a higher level rather than engaging the bait. It looks like responding calmly and confidently from a position of settled authority rather than from a position of defense. Before responding to any provocation, pause and ask yourself, am I about to step inside a frame someone else built for me? If yes, find a way to respond from your own reality instead. When people sense that their frames cannot trap you, that you always seem to be operating from a more settled, more grounded position, they begin to recalibrate. The psychological handles they were counting on are not there, and that absence alone changes how they approach you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My frame, my rules. Number 2, use strategic indifference. This is the principle that most people intellectually understand, but almost nobody actually practices. And the gap between understanding it and doing it is where most people lose their power. Every time an enemy provokes you and you react, whether with anger, with defense, with visible frustration, or even with the kind of forced calm that everyone can see through, you give them exactly what they came for. You confirm that they have a lever. You show them which pressure point produces a result. And from that moment forward, they have real, usable leverage over you. Think about what your reaction actually communicates in those moments. It says, this person has enough power over me to change my emotional state. That is not a small thing to give away. That is strategic control, handed over freely, in exchange for a moment of expressed feeling that changes nothing. Machiavelli observed this pattern across political, military, and social dynamics, and came to a clear conclusion. Reacting visibly to minor provocations is one of the most consistent ways that powerful people undermine their own position. Not because their reaction is wrong emotionally, but because it signals that the provocateur has successfully found the edge. And once that edge is found, it will be used repeatedly. Now here is the distinction you need to understand, because this is where most people get it wrong. Strategic indifference is not suppressed anger. It is not the silent treatment used as a punishment. It is not sulking dressed up as composure. All of those things are still emotional reactions. They still communicate that something landed. Strategic indifference is something fundamentally different. It is the genuine redirection of your attention toward what actually matters to you, so that the provocation simply does not register as important enough to compete for your focus. When you are genuinely indifferent, not performing it, but actually living in a space where you have more important things demanding your attention, the effect on the other person is disorienting. They threw something, and nothing came back.